Welcome to the 120th edition of Spooky Reviews from Spooky Ventures. I have to admit that I'm definitely behind on a couple levels when it comes to this one. That's because today I'm reviewing the 4K Ultra High Definition Blu-ray release of the original The Hills Have Eyes. And this comes from Arrow Films. So why do I say I'm behind in two ways on this one? Well, first, I have never seen the movie at all before. Yes, I know it's a classic. I had just never gotten the chance to check it out before. Secondly, though, this edition of the movie was released in 2022. I have had it for a long time, but have only recently gotten a player that will actually play it. So I'm very late to the game on both counts. As they say, though, it's always better late than never, because this thing is great. I can see why it is considered a classic. First, it's Wes Craven's second movie, so from a horror film history point of view, it's mandatory. It's just such a strong film, though, that it's doubly worthy of review. The movie takes place in the desert, and the opening scene establishes both a sense of mystery, but also some real sense of danger. That scene serves as more of a tone setter. We quickly meet the characters who will be in peril for the main portion of the film. Now, that group of characters is an extended family traveling to California in a station wagon towing a mobile home-style camper. They meet the prototypical old guy at the gas station who advises them to go straight to California and stick to the main roads. That's really a horror trope, but I have to think that this was probably the second movie to use it, because in 1977, when this film was released, I think the only movie to previously have done that was probably the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm not even 100% sure if I remember that that's in there. Needless to say, when the old guy at the gas station gives you advice, you should probably listen to him. This family does not, and all their troubles could have been avoided if they had. The film definitely has some similar vibes and even themes to the aforementioned Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There are some pretty crude moments. When the father of the family uses the N-word, I found it especially cringeworthy. But given the time period and the character, I think it fits. It also shows that he's a realistically flawed person. This movie puts an infant in peril, which is something that a lot of films tend to avoid. It's gory, too. I mean, while it's not up to the level of gore of a lot of newer films, for the time it was actually pretty extreme, I think. There are at least a couple moments that managed to seem pretty gory even by today's standards. One thing I found a little silly and annoying was some of the music late in the film. It really feels like something you would have seen on a 70s action TV series. For a little while I thought I was watching the A-Team or something. Still, this movie is a product of its time, and that music sort of fits that period. Overall, I think this holds up well, even all these years later. Now, I've not seen it before, so I have nothing to compare the video and audio quality to, but I would say that it does look better than a lot of videos I've seen from that era. This disc is also packed with bonus features. One of the cooler ones is the alternate ending. You can actually watch the movie with the alternate ending, or you can just watch the alternate ending separately, which I did the second one. Now, what I find interesting about that alternate ending, though, is that the ending presented as the alternate is the same ending included in the synopsis for the movie on Wikipedia, so I'm not sure where each one of these fits in. I think I prefer the other ending, though, just because it is a more powerful closing. It does leave some questions that are more resolved in the alternate ending, though, so that one has its charms as well. I also really enjoyed the outtakes included as another bonus feature. I always say that the bonuses are just that, though, bonuses. The main film is always the selling point, and this one is definitely worthy, as Wayne and Garth might say. I may be doubly late to this party, but I'm glad I got there eventually. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.